He's a very innovative student actually. I remember when I was walking over him, I saw him watching a YouTube video, and I was like, "Hey Jason, are you sure you're on task?" And he was like, "Yeah, I am on task." I was like, "What are you watching?" And he's like, "He's watching a video about plant diseases and all the different types of plants, so you can categorize them." Because he was actually making the smart glasses mirror module, and he wanted to make a system to classify different diseases. And I thought that was so interesting. We weren't able to get there, but he was actually able to add so many other interesting features, and he was able to combine my skill sets with him, and we got all these really interesting, unique ideas working together. And I'm really excited to show you guys Jason and his smart glasses.
Hi, my name is Jason. I'm from Stratford Preparatory. I'm in 10th grade, and this is my smart glasses project. So I chose this project because I thought it'd be interesting trying to figure out a way to fit all the components onto the small shape of the glasses. And before I go into my demo, I would like to give a brief overview about how my project works. So first, there's 4 voice commands that my glasses will be listening for. First, there's take a picture, which simply takes a picture using the camera here, and on here it's going to display a little camera icon. Next, there's upload to Google Drive, which will upload the most recent picture I took onto a Google Drive folder, and it's going to display a little upload icon on the screen here, and it's also going to name the file in my folder, the exact date and time I sent it to the folder. Next, there's send to Gemini, which sends the most recent photo I took to Gemini, and I asked it to describe what was in the image very briefly. It also shows a little Gemini icon here and returns Gemini's response using text-to-speech. Finally, I have terminate, which simply ends my program entirely and shows a little X icon here. So without further ado, I'll start my demo. And also, I'll be taking a picture of the audience. So when I say go, can you say cheese, please? Wait, when I say take a picture. Sorry. Take a picture.
Cheese.
So let me try that again, sorry. Take a picture.
Cheese.
Oh, it did, sorry. Next, upload to Google Drive. Send to Gemini. Terminate. As you can see in my Google Drive, there's the name of the file and then the time I took it. And there's also a picture of the audience. Sorry. So, for my modifications, hardware-wise, I added the OLED screen here, which just simply shows an icon relating to the voice commands I issued. And as you can see, I just put the screen in this folder and also have a little module here. Now for my software modifications, which was the majority of my modifications, I used Pi Audio to constantly take in audio, and I used VOS, a speech recognition API, which would transcribe the audio into something the Raspberry Pi, this, could actually do. So I also used Google Cloud API, so I could send the photo to my Google Drive, and Gemini API, so that I could send the photo to Gemini. So the challenge that I faced while working with this project was first, I couldn't sign into Google Cloud. So I needed to sign into Google Cloud so it had access to my Google Drive, but that wasn't working. And this is because there's a certain authorization key that is sent to Google Cloud, and when I sign in with the browser, it usually does that for me. But since it wasn't working this time, I had to change the settings, and it gave me the authorization key, and I had to give it to Google Cloud manually. And this made sure I could successfully sign in without any errors. Next, my OLED screen, my previous one, was getting really hot. And this is because I short-circuited it by putting this ribbon here, the wrong orientation. So since my first one had burned out, I got a new one to make sure that the ribbon was the correct orientation. And from then on there, it worked, and I put it here. And here at Bluestamp, I learned how to solder, 3D print, and use APIs in my code. And I realized I like both software and hardware, so I could really choose any path. For further modifications, I would like to maybe clean up these wires, both of them, and maybe put on a hat so that it's not as visible. That's it. Have anyone have any questions? Yes?
Have you considered to minimize the display size?
Minimize display size?
Yeah, from other glasses. Now it's kind of long your way, right?
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry, I couldn't.
So the one on the left, on the
Yeah.
right side, there's a
Screen?
display. Yeah. So is there any way to minimize it?
I want to keep it like big so that a lot of other people can see it from further away.
Actually, if you can replace that with the real glasses, the glasses. Put it in the like a glass frame, then you
Ah.
can like so people can look at it in regular cases, but then when you look at it, yeah.
Yes?
Can you actually see through the?
Yeah, I can. It's a transparent screen, so both of us can see it. Yes?
How did you make the artwork for the icons? Like, how did
So
you
what we
define
did is
it?
I first had to like use a caliper, which is a more like accurate ruler, and I measured first the width of the screen and the length of the screen and the thickness of the screen, and I made it into a sideways design so you could just slip in. Yes.
Was there anything special you had to do to put the images on the screen itself?
I had to first take a normal black and white image and convert it to something called a BMP, which is just basically a bunch of black and white pixels. And as you saw on my screen earlier, there's some blue pixels and there's some blank pixels. And I'm happy to, for example, if there's a black dot, it's going to be blue on the screen I have, and if it's white, there's just going to be nothing. So I would just convert a normal image through some code and make it fit into the dimensions and center it, and then it just appears like that on my screen here.
How
Yes.
is like the weight of the glasses and everything?
It's like okay. It's not. It doesn't bring it too much down.